Okay. Greetings and salutations there, pipe pals. Well, it has been. It's been a while. Yes, I just uploaded a video a couple days ago. And yes, it was a fire-breathing kind of a sermon. Yes, it was. It wasn't just a fireside chat, it was a flamethrower chat. Okay, so. But, you know, sometimes those videos, you know, they're in here. And sometimes they come out. So, the reason why I'm here tonight, and it's almost, it's still, evening's still relatively young, it's about 9:30, 9:40 actually. Smoking a, well, this pipe here has to do with a video I made a long, long time ago. Back when I was at Good Shepherd. Had a beard, originally. It's one of my original videos. Might even try and, well, see, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the original format. Well, maybe I will. Who knows? Who knows what I'll be able to do? Creativity is something that I always love. As long as it's a good pipe. And we got the old Ironsides here. Again, 360 video. I know I haven't done one of these in a long, 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 long time. Want to call your attention to one of my 360 videos called The Chess Game. My dear friend Alan, maybe I said this on my last video, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But one of my, well, he wasn't just a friend. He was more like a father to me. He really was. He was my big brother in the Big Brothers America, and we worked together just about 48 years, give or take a year or two there, 50 years almost. And I'm so grateful for Alan, and so I'm so grateful also that I recorded that 360 video, and it probably had to do with, you know, it was a novelty back almost a year and a half, 2 years ago now. I think it was about a little over a year ago that he came up, but, you know, I was telling him about the 360 video camera, and, you know, even though he was a little older, he was doing really good, and he had a little health scare about, 8 years ago, and I didn't think he was going to make it then. He was really, really having a hard time. But God bless him, things turned around and he got better, just got better. He even believed God gave him a miracle of a healing, and I believe that too. But, I guess he went into sleep about 2 weeks ago. I found out about last week. So I went next morning. I was on call to the hospital, and I just felt a big part of my life just kind of ebbing away. It was like, wow. And a lot of us, when we lose a close friend, we feel bad, we feel sad, but this was kind of a little bit different. Can't explain why, but literally a part of me just kind of evaporated. And although I'm sad, I'm not overcome with grief, but I know there's something poignant about his passing. And so the next morning, for some reason, I got on YouTube and I found that video called The Chess Game. You can go look at it. Maybe I'll even link to it. But I just was so glad I did that video. I'm glad I uploaded it. It's there for me to look at, and really miss Alan. He's just a wonderful guy. I mean, he knew me when I was a little boy. He saw me grow up. He saw me go through all sorts of problems, difficulties, challenges, victories, successes, challenges. And, again, seeing his life and his grandkids and his kids. I knew his kids. So anyway, it was just one of those things. Anyway, so but anyway, so I just wanted to get a video. I got is it Susan and Cynthia, or Cynthia and Susan? You know, they said they were watching my old video, and I'm smoking this pipe here, my Peterson, with the P-lip. Where's the P-lip? And they said we really missed the older videos, and I had to take that to heart. I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I kind of skimmed through it, and I went, you know, that was one of my earlier videos, probably one of my very first videos, and I just was, you know, wanting to talk about pipes and enjoy the gentle art of pipe smoking. And then before we kind of got more serious on things, and I know that I mean, I'm not alone. There are a lot of people that have, you know, strong feelings on either side of the political divide, and that's part of the problem. It's a political divide. I wish all I had to do was just, you know, do what I do normally in my parish and my vocation, and just, you know, not have to worry about a lot of these things. But some of these things are pretty serious, as we all know. You can't stick your head in the sand and pretend that they don't exist. But on the other hand, you can't let them completely dominate your life to where your life is just so miserable. And so anyway, as I was looking at that little video, I was talking about pirate cake and the cakiness of the pirate cake. Gosh, you know, I wonder if I have, with the 360 video, that might even be really cool. Hold on a second. Pirate cake. Oh, where's the pirate cake? Come on. Where did I put the pirate cake? Oh my goodness. Oh, this is terrible. I have to have the pirate cake here somewhere. There's got to be life without pirate cake. Oh, wow. That scared me, boys and girls. That scared me. Because I remember having this bigger thing that was not keeping it fresh. And, but here it is. Here it is. Some pirate cake right there. And all of it. Let's see, it's just cakey goodness. Yeah. Oh, man. Nice and sealed, too. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Not bad. Oh, look at this, boys and girls. Pirate cake and all of its cakey goodness in 360 video. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Over here, over there, right there, here and there, turning around. The pirate cake. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. So that's where the pirate cake went. Okay. Well, that scared me. I really thought maybe I had gotten rid of it. I mean, not gotten rid of it, but...
That is Tina's Eric
Yeah. So, you heard that story, right? About the puppies? The puppies? Have you heard that story about the puppies? There were 3 puppies. And, so, the first puppy, they called it Whitey, because it was the whitest. The second puppy, they called it Blackie, because it was the blackest. And the third one, they called Horowitz. Horowitz, you ask. Why? Because it was the pianist. That's a music joke. Da-da-da. Okay, if you didn't get that one, I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. You should know that one. I'm sure David, if he still watches from time to time, he probably let out a rather large groan when he heard that one. I have to say, well, I have to say that Old Ironsides, I was going to say that in some ways it's reminiscent of Pirate Cake, but it's not. It's not. It's just a good. Actually, Old Ironsides is a good mellow English. That's all you're going to say. That's all you need to say about old iron sights. Okay, some shout outs to some of you all who have put up with me even through my fire breathing dragon ones. Somebody asked, was there a reason for the dragons in your last video? And really, consciously, there was no real decision about dragons, although I had seen, I was going to say Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones the night before. And I have to say, I don't know what it is about me. I just have a real soft spot in my heart for those darn dragons. But I think, every time they play the dragon card, as awesome and as cool as it is, it kind of diminishes over time. So although there's something kind of thrilling to see Daenerys Targaryen riding her dragon or dragons and whatever, it's just something that just kind of is very captivating, and it's interesting. So that was the original intent. But then after I looked at it and seeing, I had the fire-breathing dragons on most shots, I guess maybe it was because I felt that I was kind of being a bit of a flamethrower myself. Here's some of the things that I said in my last video. So there you have it. The raison d'etre of why there were dragons in the background. There be dragons here. Arr. So anyway, okay, a couple shout outs. Let's see. I was asked, and I'm very honored that somebody would ask me to put a shout out for them. I think it's Creators Design Pipes, and he's been a kind of a viewer for a while, and usually says very positive and encouraging things. Hope I don't hurt your ratings now after saying that about you. But I guess he's a new pipe carver. But anyway, check him out. I think I did click on one of your videos. I think it was one of your introduction videos. I think I welcomed you to the clubhouse. That's usually what I say to people, and they say, "Hey, would you check out one of my videos?" And I'll check out one of your videos and see how you're doing. But I haven't had a chance to look at your actual pipes. But maybe you make dragon pipes. Hey, somebody was making dragon pipes. What was that name? Guy's name was Scott. Sparky's Pipes. I think he made a dragon pipe once. He made a lot of interesting pipes. He had a crab pipe or something like that. It was quite something. Of course, there's old Joe Case, the one, the only. Let's see. Of course, Philippe Rivera and Geopipes. So those are some of the pipe carvers that I've actually gotten a chance to talk to, and they've made pipes for me. J.M. Boswell, courtesy of Tim, got a J.M. Boswell. Actually, I have two J.M. Boswells. Church warden-ish. Church warden / it's kind of a hybrid. A church warden, and I think I actually did that by accident. He was a Danish freehand, but I had a long church warden stem, and one day I just put them two together, and that's the way they've been. That's the way they are. So maybe one of my next videos I'll smoke that one. I like this Basil Rathbone, and I've smoked this one several times on some of my videos, several of my videos throughout the years. It's a Peterson, it's a P-lip, and this was a real turning point in my life, and I've always liked this pipe. So anyway, and then if Fort Leonard Wood rings a bell to somebody out there, all I want to say is the plum cake is in the oven. Now that I've got everybody's intrigue going on, what is he? He's talking in code now. What's that mean? What does he mean? So, if you know anything about Fort Leonard Wood, you'll know what I'm talking about. But that's all I'm going to say. I don't mean to be so cryptic on purpose. Well, yes, I do. Okay. Again, hi to my friend Chris, the tax man, who lives in Deutschland. That kind of brings tax. Chris, the tax man who lives in Deutschland. Okay, kind of works, sort of, kind of. And so Yorgi Experience and all of his wonderful videos. Of course, the one and the only inimitable Herminator. And hope you're doing well. Maybe you're on a retreat. I don't know. If you ever had an opportunity to come to California, Airmon, you would probably enjoy a trip. We have a monastery, a real monastery, about 20 minutes up the road from here, Trappist Monastery. And I go there frequently, not all the time, but maybe once or twice a year. But they're right up the road, and it's just a nice place. They sell a lot of wine. They make a lot of wine, as opposed to me whining all the time. But if you did come and you were able to visit, I would be more than happy to take you on a tour and show you this very beautiful, peaceful monastery, which was which has always been kind of a part of my whole journey as well. I made my priest retreat there. So anyway, just throwing it out there, just anybody, so if you're interested. So, I was going to say something else. Oh, and of course, a shout out to the one, the only, Mr. Gary Portier. Yes. Gary does have a new video up. He's out sitting in his deck, smoking a church warden. I guess it's one of the first pipes he ever got. And just, there he is, the veteran pipe smoker. That's all I'm going to say about that. So anyway, not to get too controversial. Again, part of this is I'm actually doing an exercise and seeing if this 360 fly camera even still works. I've been playing with it all day. The battery was conking out on me. Then I put it on the charger, and then it didn't seem to work at all. And it wasn't the greatest thing in the world. It was a novelty, 2 years ago. I don't even know if they even sell the 360. I think they do in some stores. I know Best Buy used to have a big display, and I don't even know if they even have them anymore. There's a Samsung 360 now. But it's only for Android users, and I just didn't want to have to, spend a lot of time trying to learn or trying to figure out workarounds to get it to work with my Mac Pro. So anyway, it's Friday night. I didn't say that. On the 25th of August. It's it's late summer. Normally I'm actually very content with it being late summer. I'm believing that fall's around the corner. Well, unfortunately, dear friends, starting tomorrow, we're supposed to go back up to triple digits, and I know I shouldn't complain, but this year for some reason the triple digits just really kicked my butt. This is the first time in years that hot weather has really affected me. I got pneumonia. I'm just now starting to kind of get over it, but I'm just really tired all the time. I'm not looking for sympathy, but I don't like feeling this way. I want to be able to get out and exercise. I want to do some things that and again, I wanted to give you a little update. I did do, and I'm not here to rag on vegans, and I wish, believe me, I wish that the vegan diet thing really worked for me. And although I enjoyed the food a lot, lots of, again, I did eat a lot of salads like I normally do, but instead of eating meat, I ate a lot of potatoes and rice, and sometimes like falafel and things like that. And I really, really enjoyed that food an awful lot. But unfortunately, my doctor told me that because I'm pre-diabetic and I'm very, very hypersensitive to carbohydrates. And that's why I usually gain a lot of weight rapidly when I eat lots of carbohydrates, and I just can't do it. Even the little bit of food I'm eating now, I'm not losing weight. I'm not gaining, but I'm just not losing either. So I'm going to have to do some really radical things. And one of the things I was going to try to do is really start hitting the exercise a lot harder, and doing some really hardcore, intermittent fasting. But I'm just really exhausted most of the days. I kind of get up and I slug my way through it. I mean, I get through it, but boy, I'm just absolutely wiped out, and I haven't done anything. That's the problem. So anyway, I've got to kind of redouble my efforts, and I just got to do it. So anyway, this guy I've been watching for the last couple of years, who is a vegan or pro-vegan, Dom Bauer in Edinburgh, Scotland. He just got some new, he says Vibrams, some new Vibrams. I say Vibrams, I've always said Vibrams, but he says Vibrams. And you've got the V-Trail series, which is a new one that came out, which helps. See, that's what happens here. This goes dead. Don't know why it does that. It just will go after a while. And you've got to restart it, which is okay. Not a problem. We have the technology. So, and again, as far as making videos for this channel, kind of just sharing my random thoughts for the most part. I really would prefer to talk about health and fitness and diet and exercise and Apple products and cameras and GoPros and, not have to worry about, World War III or nuclear annihilation or, people just hating everybody. So, really would like to say in some ways, live and let live, but in some ways, or live and let die. I don't know. Isn't that a James Bond movie? Live and let die. Anyway, but it's just, it's part of life. I think, and this is something I was going to say. Let me get me old pipe going here again, lads and lasses. Can somebody tell me if Tamper Peterson's still out there on the old airwaves? I'd like to. He was talk about a cantankerous old guy, but he was really interesting. Again, he's from Scotland as well. But oh my goodness, good old Tamper Peterson. Here's the thing I was thinking about. Is that maybe that's the only problem with wearing khaki pants, light khaki pants, and smoking. I should put on my smoking jacket. That's what I should do. Is you're going to get ashes on your clothes, ashes and cat fur. But I was thinking that a lot of young people kind of grew up playing a game called Grand Theft Auto and games like that. And when I stop and think about it, a lot of those games were all about anarchy. Shooting cops, shooting innocent people, going out into the street and breaking things, crashing your car into things, running over people. And I think in every age, the young generation, they want to somehow prove their mettle. They kind of want a dragon to fight and slay. And the thing that we've made it where you can legitimately hate somebody, I mean, just downright hate somebody, and not get in trouble, really, are Nazis. Everybody. Nazis are. You can hate Nazis till the cows come home, and no one's going to say that's bad. And now, with Antifa and By Any Means Necessary and people like that, they're trying to justify themselves and their own violence by saying it's okay to not only stop to oppose people that are on the quote-unquote alt-right, but you can beat them up. It's okay. Hit a Nazi, punch a Nazi, slug a Nazi. But the problem is, who is the one making the determination of who a Nazi is? And this is where it gets a little scary, because instead of a nation, and again, some people would obviously take umbrage with this, an actual nation going to war against another nation, and under the just war ethic, it is regrettable, but it is moral and legal to defend and fight for your country, and in the process, if you have to kill the enemy, that's what you do. That's what General Mattis would say. So, but the thing is that Antifa is kind of saying, well, if we see a Nazi, that means we can hit them, we can punch them, we can take them out, we can use violence, and it's okay. And completely illegal, and it's not justifiable. Because a lot of these people, they're targeting as, well, that's a Nazi, that's a racist. And maybe they're not. Just because you don't like somebody's views. That's where it's kind of gotten to, is that, okay, I can legitimately attack this person, I can do them harm, and I can hate them, and it's okay. And see, I don't think that's right. I don't think it's okay. And I'm thinking that we have to be really careful that we don't set ourselves up as judge, jury, and executioner, because that's mob mentality. That's all we see right now is almost a radical mob movement. And it's a lot like, not so much like Nazi Germany. Everybody wants to use Nazi Germany, pick on the Germans in Germany. It's a lot like Stalinist Russia. We're talking about purges and programs here. That's what I see happening. I was been listening to the Gulag Archipelago on audiobook, and oh my gosh, talk about human suffering and how deplorable a human being's life can be. It boggles the mind. It just is And I've been listening, of course, to Dr. Jordan Peterson, and how he basically introduced me to the Gulag Archipelago. And A Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. If you ever never seen that little film, you can watch it on YouTube. A Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. And it basically, it's just, can you imagine the misery, the absolute abject misery of these poor shells of a human being just trying to literally eke out and survive one day at a time. And they got arrested because maybe they stole a couple of grains of corn or something, or a potato, an old moldy potato, and they got 5 years in a gulag. And I know that some people don't want to hear this, but there are some people, if they can overthrow this government, they can overthrow America, there would probably be a lot of people, good, innocent people, going to concentration camps because maybe they're Christians, they're conservatives, quote unquote, they're on the alt-right, because a mob has now taken over and they've decided, you're going to a prison. You're going to go and spend some time in a gulag. We're going to take you out and back and shoot you because we don't like you. And that's where it's at, folks. Now we're seeing the simmerings, these things starting to come to a boil, and I'm just really afraid that unless we get a good dose of rationality real quick, things could really blow up literally one way or another, and a lot of people are going to be caught off guard. And the life that we enjoy for the most part, our cell phones and our TV and our way of life and our livelihoods, our families, it could all be gone tomorrow. Whether it's the uprising of anarchy or the igniting of a nuclear bomb or something. It just is really, really scary. And I would like to be somebody that says, look, let's, the one thing I remember very importantly about the Civil War coming to an end is how did the Civil War come to an end? And, people say, well, General Grant and General Lee, they, met and had an armistice. But basically what really had to happen was both sides had to stop fighting. They had to stop killing each other for a period of time. They had to put their weapons down. Put the weapons down, folks. And right now we're using words as weapons. We've weaponized words. We weaponized our rhetoric. And we've got to back off. We've got to, cooler heads have to prevail right now. And so, it's okay to be honest and say, this is grim, this is upsetting, I don't like it, you don't like it. But for us to yell and scream and shout and throw rocks and bottles and locks and burn people and hit people and drive cars into people and to, destroy people and hate people, that's all wrong. That's all wrong. Okay? Yeah, so we've got to allow, in our country we still have the First Amendment and freedom of speech, and I'm hoping that we rediscover the genius of that, because we don't really vanquish evil by violence. I mean, sometimes violence is a necessary, sad to say it is necessary, but hopefully we really combat and we really become victorious when we, like whether it was Stefan Molyneux or even Dr. Peterson says, Dr. Peterson says, you know what happens when we can't talk to each other anymore? We become enemies. We become enemies when we stop talking. And we got to keep talking. We've got to say, okay, I disagree, or I don't agree with that, or have you thought about this, or okay, look, I may not agree with you, but I'm not going to beat you up. I'm not going to come after you. And I would hope that people would have the same respect for me. Okay, maybe you're not a Christian, maybe you're not a Catholic, maybe you don't like Catholic priests, but unless I've done something to attack you physically or destroy your life or whatever, maybe I say something you don't like, but you're welcome to say, well, why do you say that? Why do you believe that way? And you don't have to agree with me. You can respectfully say, well, I don't believe that way, I don't see it that way, this is what I believe. At the end of the day, I say, okay, that's what you believe, okay? But at least you're not, I'm going to shut you down, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to come to your house, and I'm going to, all these horrible things that are happening to a lot of people. There's no need for that. But I think there's a lot of fearful people out there, and I do think that a lot of people, and I've even had a couple of them comment on my videos, they really are anarchists, and I don't hate them, but they have a completely different world view, and I kind of understand where they're coming from, but on one hand I'm thinking, well, unless, it's like a lot of these people will say, well, we got to give communism now a chance, and and you say, well, excuse me, but historically every time you give communism a chance, millions of people get killed. The Nazis killed a lot of people, no doubt about it. But during the Bolshevik Revolution and Stalinism, between 10 and 50 million people disappeared. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of bodies. And they say in Mao's China, there was closer to 90, maybe 100 million people in that wonderful example of communism. And so, They say, well, we haven't truly tried communism. Oh, yes, we have. And there are a lot of young people today that are in love with it, and they think it's wonderful, if only they can do what? Get rid of people that disagree with them. And that's exactly what the Soviets tried to do. That's what the Chinese tried to do. That's what North Koreans try to do. So what I would say is this, if you're interested in that way of life, great. That's more power to you. I would say try to immigrate to North Korea or China and see what it's like, And if that's what you like, then move there, It's still a free world. You can still do those kinds of things. But to try to destroy a country because you don't like it, I just think that that's the problem. And that's where I'm kind of sitting tonight. It's like, it's nice to light up a pipe and enjoy your favorite tobacco and talk with some friends over the internet. Drink coffee, play with, technology, those are all fun things. And most of us, I think 99% of us out there enjoy those kinds of things. I think most people are realistic to say that not everybody is going to agree with me, and not everybody has to agree with me. And that's the life that I kind of was raised, is that, there are going to be people that don't share your worldview. And does that mean you hate them? No. It doesn't mean you hate them. You just don't agree with them, that's all. It's pretty simple when you stop and think about it. But for some reason, people want safe spaces, they want their echo chambers, they don't want to be challenged, they don't want to hear any opposing viewpoints, and that's just not realistic. Nobody is forcing you to subscribe to my worldview. It's my worldview. I own it. I take full responsibility. But it's not, where I'm trying to destroy you. But unfortunately, I think the other side doesn't feel that way. They want to destroy. They want to hurt, by any means necessary. It's okay to hit a Nazi. It's okay to hit anybody that you think is a Nazi. And I just think that in the end, is going to lead to another descent into darkness. And I don't want that. I mean, my little moniker at the end is always light up your world, light up your pipe, I was looking for my kitty cat. I thought I saw my kitty cat sneak by. Well, anyway, I've tested out this 360 video. I don't know if this has been working. I probably just wasted an hour or so just talking into nothing for no reason, and it didn't record. But we're going to find out here real soon. So if it did, awesome. Then I got to figure out how to upload a 360 video because I haven't done it in over a year. And there's a whole lot of other little steps that you have to do in editing. Okay, so thank you all for watching. Again, I hope you're having a great weekend. Upload a video this week. Just say hi to everybody. What kind of pipe are you smoking? Did you get a new pipe this week, this month? Have you discovered any new tobaccos? I've kind of been out of it because I don't live near the briar patch anymore, and I haven't had a chance to, look at a lot of videos. I just haven't. But so if there's some new tobaccos out there that are like the bee's knees or the cat's whiskers, and you're thinking, man, this stuff is awesome. You got to try this, let me know. So, okay, so going to say sayonara for now. Light up your world, light up your pipe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Okay, let's see if this worked.